game. Start the recording. See if we go live.
I can't hear
Looks
him.
good. Let's see if it has hit. And we are live. Also mute while you type for whoever was doing that. Alright, let's get going here. Welcome everybody to another Streams of Spero, our very quite long-running campaign that we've been doing. I am Benito the DM, as well as my lovely cast, and we'll go right from top to bottom and then back up to the top again. Starting with Jeremy. Introduce yourself and who you playing.
Jeremy, playing Vema, the elf from the Shadowfell, sent here to assist Zindred from the Raven Queen.
I am Jen, and I'm playing Cascade Brine, a water genasi druid who was looking for help from the group, got some help, and was defeated yet again by her arch nemesis.
I'm not sure we were defeated. I mean, we kind of won.
Matt.
I mean, we lived.
I'm Matthew. I'm playing Alexi in a divine Azamar of the lineage of Apollo, one of the gods of the realm currently. Although at present, Alexi is a warlock devoted to Silk's daughter, Mystic. We're currently adventuring through the realm trying to push the agenda.
Don't forget Proud Papa.
Yes, actually, a newly discovered father, and with luck, good or bad, more are on the way.
Sounds like someone's going to be busy. I am Rico. I am playing Zhu Xiong, the Cursebreaker, Werewolf Slayer, Gladiatorial Champion, and Weapons Master, son of Arna Joffin, warrior of Chulu Shig Kutari tribe. I'm a barbarian, and I currently have one hand.
From the
To be fair, I think we also still have your other
about.
hand.
True. We do have the other hand, just in case something magical can happen and it can be reattached.
Could be true. Alright, back up to Jacob.
Jake, playing Firebrand, the party's good-for-nothing wizard.
And the reason we're all floating in the ocean. But we had a good time, right?
I can swim, slightly.
Well, you're not dead yet.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Glenn from Tabletop Journeys. I'm playing Zindred Cinevilia, first paladin of the Raven Queen. Yeah.
All right. We do have Liwini Camilla, the other half of Tabletop Journeys, having technical issues.
Yeah, he's a warforged. He's probably on the bottom of the ocean right
now. I was going to say, as a person who is very heavy, he's sinking a little bit right now and bobbing it as best he can. But he will try to join us as soon as he basically can. And I will recap. All right, so basically the group has successfully retrieved the sixth Sin Stone from what Hades has hidden. Upon returning back, they got back to their ship, the Force of the Storm, where then it was determined, talking to Zindred, that they were going to give it to Cascade Brine. So she has picked that up, so becoming the sixth now carrier of a stone, and they've realized that the seventh, the Drake, is off to the west, and they are going to need to sail out there. Upon sailing, they encountered the dreaded ghost ship that Cascade Brine had warned about before in conversation, and apparently it came a-hunting. And it had a purpose, because one of the Knights of Nine was also on board this vessel. After a brutal fight, the crew was party was able to defeat the ghost ship, but not without it being one of several members being possessed by the crew of this ghost ship. Firebrand being one of them, and he used his spell casting to great effect, which shattered the force of the storm, and now the crew is stuck in the water. The other part was Desire, the daughter of Aleski. In combat, also remove Ju's hand, showcasing a very deadly magical weapon that she has gotten from the nine hells apparently, and that came to bad effect to the party. But they have all survived. All the crew is pretty much alive. No one has lost of life. Just an unfortunate series of events have occurred. So I will leave it
Did
to
they
you
make a
guys.
book series about that?
Yes, and a pretty good show.
Damn
All right.
limity schnickets.
Yes. So now, my wonderful heroes, you are here in this ocean, floating, beaten and weathered. I will need. It is still it is still raining, not as heavy, but it is still raining. It is cold. I will need everyone to roll Constitution checks, please.
I'm also
roll
going to
this
cast Mass Cure Wounds.
one. Okay.
Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Ooh, that was almost a 1.
I got a 1.
You did.
So, a max of 4.
Okay.
12.
Anybody within 10 feet of me has advantage on a saving throw and +4.
Where are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is this
You're-
raft
you're
back
blue.
here. Yeah.
I am near.
You're near the people who don't
Yep,
need
all
con
those
save.
are-
Yeah,
Right?
you're near all your people.
Fair enough.
No, because I should be over there, but I'm not. Oh, well.
So everybody gets 22 points.
Okay. The DC is 12 at the moment right now. If you have failed it, you will add 1 level of exhaustion to your character.
I have passed.
I have passed.
Yeah.
Jen, did you say we all got 22 healing? Is that what
Correct.
you were saying?
Yes.
22 healing?
Much
And
needed.
what was that other part then?
If you failed.
If
It
you
was
failed
if you
the
failed.
12 or higher you needed to get on con, you will suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh, I
I
made
did
it.
not pass.
Do you see mine in D&D Beyond, Ben? Or do you want me to say it?
You'll need to say it because I flipped out
Alright.
right now.
Okay. 19.
So you're past, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I'd just say the DC, that way I'm kind of trying to help Lee when he could get back on as well.
Yeah.
And look at some notes, but all good. Okay, so it's pretty much your scene. What would you like to do? Anyone want to be yelled at or has an idea or what you're doing? You have a long way to go to this mysterious.
Well, that could have gone better.
Well,
Yeah,
which
this is,
direction should we be swimming? I guess.
Thank
Why
you,
don't we all
Cascade.
gather up and we can tie some flotsam together, so at least we're all together? Was it? So wait a minute. I mean, I just recalled something. It was storming when that ship came in. Is it calmer seas now?
No, it's still
Okay,
raining.
so we're yelling at each other.
Yes. I mean, it's not
Awesome.
raining as badly as it was when that ship showed up, but it is still pouring enough that, that's what's making it miserable and cold right now for those people who are not used to the water.
So, the storm was magical. The
Yes.
ship's gone, but the storm's still happening.
Correct. But you remember, that
And it-
ship was miles off as well from the previous thing when that storm started. So this storm could have a very large radius to that ship.
Okay, so the ship's still somewhat nearby.
Correct.
Good idea, Cascade. Zendrid starts trying to paddle her section of flotsam closer to the next largest section, which looks like that one, yeah.
Cass jumps off her piece of flotsam and wild shapes into a dolphin and starts pushing her batch towards Zindrid's. And then after they get connected, she's going to go swimming around to the rest of the people just in the water and that other group and push them all together.
I'll pull out my rope, start tying stuff
Okay.
together.
I would help, but I'm stumped.
You only got one hand, so you don't want to give an extra hand. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We still have your other hand, so you could give that hand.
I don't want to lose it. And I'm trying not to bleed in the water to attract sharks.
Okay, give me a moment.
How are you preventing yourself from bleeding?
You want me to do? You want me to do like a burning hands or something and cauterize it?
He got
Other
healing,
one,
so the bleeding has stopped. The bleeding has stopped.
Yeah. I'll still do it.
We know. You'll light anything on fire.
No, with our luck, you'll burn up whatever flotsam we have
Yeah.
left.
Destroy what we've got left.
As it is, we're trying to find HK. He's dangling off the bottom of one of these right now.
Which, to your point, since I am a dolphin and echolocation and all that kind of jazz, can I spot a metallic body in the water?
He's on the raft. It is just Liwanika unable to answer.
Oh, okay.
We're just riling a person who is having technical issues. That's
The other question being is, do I, underwater, are there any underwater threats?
give me a perception check.
Good call.
17. No, 18.
There are not.
In the immediate area? This is the ocean.
Yeah.
Granted.
Just this kraken I've been painting.
How, anybody have any inkling of how far offshore we are?
I thought I had a dolphin fig, but I don't seem to know where it is.
I was to say, Flipper, I'm nodding my head.
Well, we were sailing west, farther out into the ocean. Do we have any idea how much farther we have to go?
To the west, it would have still taken about a couple of weeks, you think, and you're not really, and that was still searching for the island. You're out about 4 days to the east.
Sounds like east.
And we don't even have a volleyball.
Well, sir.
Oh. I think I just saw Liwaniki. He's got it. He made it.
There's a box.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Hey!
Welcome, Liwaniki.
Captain, do you know these waters at all? Is there any kind of land nearby-ish?
She's a dolphin right now. She can't have a complicated conversation.
Well,
Unless
on
somebody's
the,
got
Hold
to speak with
I only have one hand, but I might be able to get this.
I'll cast Speak with Animals.
on the map, this is where it says there be dragons. So
Be dragons.
here be monsters.
Oh, the sea
The only
serpent.
thing dragging right now is HK. He's the anchor.
Well,
Anybody have any... I'm sorry, I only got one hand. Anybody have any thing to make us go faster?
A boat motor? No, I do not currently possess a boat motor.
You said
Can
you
we-
cast Speak with Animals?
Yes, I'll cast Speak
Matt?
with Animals. No.
So the first thing she's gonna, if she understands that you're gonna hear her mumbling to herself, "Are these people really as dumb as all that? I'm a fucking dolphin."
Yeah, like, can we just throw the rope out to Cascade and let Cascade pull for as long as she can? Because she obviously swims better than the rest of us.
You're talking to her. Tell her to change into a freaking whale or something.
I haven't
There
talked to
you
her
go.
yet. She's a dolphin. She can't talk back.
Oh, I thought someone cast Speak to Animals.
That'll be my turn, but I'm not
Turn
going to
into
tell
a
you.
whale,
She's
Moby
very
Dick us, eat us, and freaking swim us to shore.
What? What?
I have gluttony. Are you sure you want to chance
I
that?
feel like that would go poorly
Right.
for us. She may not actually spit us out.
I have an idea to move us along, but
Slice my
we
way
need-
out from the inside if need be.
we need some kind of destination, direction.
Well, if it's 4 days east versus 2 weeks west, I think the east
We
it
go
is.
east. Now, who knows which way east is?
Does
Is it
Cass-
daytime? Is it
Where's the
nighttime?
sun
Are
I'm
there
going?
confident
stars
that
in
one
Where's
of
the
us
sun
has got a high
going?
enough, has
Could
enough
you
survival sense to figure that out.
point
The captain
where
in
you
particular.
believe east is, and we'll go the opposite way?
I was about to say that you know my navigation skills on land. I'm pretty sure in the water they're not as good.
From having studied the maps, does Cass know if where we left is the closest land, or is there populated island anywhere near?
You don't think there's any islands out here,
Is there any
Okay.
birds?
but
Yep, Zendred has no idea which way east is.
yeah, the whole problem was you're in the fight with the ship. It was a storm going on. You've been kind of
Right.
moved around a lot. The boat got rocked several times from some shatter spell. So when you kind of finally like hit and sank, it's very difficult. You can't see the stars because the storm's above going on right now. So you just don't have any bearing of what was what because it's been hectic. I mean, if you give it a moment, you're more than likely to figure that out. But at this moment, with the storm and you've just kind of suffered the catastrophe that you've just met, unless you have that feat that always knows which way is the direction the sun comes up, whatever, that's the only way to know.
So, at this point, I am
99
gonna-
bottles of beer on the wall. 99
yeah.
bottles of beer.
Or you can start going in one direction. I will have you secretly roll to me, so the rest of the party will not know.
I was gonna say I can give it my best guess and just start pulling. If the rope was actually put in the water, I can just start pulling.
What type of storm is it? Is it like a very... No, never mind.
The perfect storm. And you're Mark Wahlberg.
How many people do we have total here?
A lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
And a cat.
and a dolphin.
Yeah,
The dolphin's a person.
now.
Oh, the
Well,
cat,
the
the
18,
cat
yeah.
made it?
Yeah, it's on the raft with you.
Nice.
Does the cat know which way to go?
Completely bored.
Looking at its butthole.
I did just send it to you, Ben.
Okay.
We're going that way.
Okay, I see that. All right. I was wondering what that really was. All right. So, yeah, you're slowly pushing. I'm gonna need you to roll a strength check with that.
Wait, are we trying to group up first?
Yeah, Vaemon has given rope to everyone, so you're trying to bobble along, but this is still one person trying to move bodies across this difficult sea.
Is there any way to assist?
I was
Flat
looking at-
planks to paddle with.
there's not many.
I could polymorph into something for a little while.
Yeah, sure, if you want to help out.
I was gonna say because I rolled a 12 with dolphin strength.
Okay.
Are there
Octopus,
any-
So you've got like 8 arms?
Are there any extra pieces of wood floating around that are like just a piece of wood
Yeah.
bobbing?
Yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, you guys can do a little bit of paddling.
All right, yeah, I'll grab a piece of wood,
Okay.
where I can help paddle.
So some of the crew members will also will do as well.
I'll use my hand as the rudder to help steer.
Use
Alright.
your other hand to paddle with
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'd be really sad if a shark bites it and
Yeah.
just takes off with it.
Or you'll be close to monkeys.
Dangling fresh meat in the water.
Throw it out
Okay,
with
I'm just gonna sit in the middle of my plank, envious that
What's
everybody
that?
else has 2 fucking hands and I don't.
Yeah, isn't that upsetting? Okay, I will need everyone to know this time another Constitution check. This is at 15 because it is raining, it is wet, it is cold, and some of you, anyone who is paddling or pulling
Well,
as an animal,
I could.
will do it at
Hold on.
disadvantage.
I'm not
What
touching the water, so I get a natural 20.
Yeah, because you're mad.
Would I
Did
really
the-
have to do a con check when I'm covered in blubber?
This
And
is
then the water
this is
that's your
just still
natural
fatigue.
habitat.
You're working. No one else is working. No one is working as hard as you. This is not.
So anyone within 10 feet of me has advantage and +4.
Yeah. What I'm doing is the ordeal of being in the ocean. I'm not actually affecting you guys all with the cold, so you're not being affected by cold temperatures. You're being affected by trying to stay afloat and swimming.
So I'm okay then.
No, you're pulling everybody. That's why you're doing it.
Okay. At disadvantage?
Yeah, because you're pulling 3 rafts or floatsomes and 2 barrels, mostly by yourself.
So I can
That's why I got a
polymorph.
20. I'm not doing anything, and I'm not getting wet.
Yeah.
I can polymorph into a beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's, or the target's level if it doesn't have a challenge rating. What are good beasts that could be up to my level? I don't know any beast.
Well, you
I
can
mean, it
also
could be-
join as a dolphin as well.
You could turn
Well,
into
I'm
the.
level 19. I could probably be something pretty hefty to pull harder.
Yeah, you kill a
You
whale.
could turn into killer whale.
Yeah, work on.
Yeah, I'll be a fucking killer whale. Hell yeah.
I'll say because
Dolphin just
challenge
got
rating on a
nervous.
dolphin is 1/8.
Yeah.
I was going to offer me as a dragon turtle to help.
So all of you gonna change into animal forms?
So if he turns into a dragon turtle, Vaymont is gonna hop on the turtle because at this point, if Vaymont stays on the flotsam, Vaymont's gonna die. Like,
Well, we need to.
not even joking. I'm exhaustion level 2 now. I assume.
Ben, would our constitution saves for the people pulling, since there's more people pulling, still be at disadvantage? Because we're all working together now.
Well, no one was at first, so this was the first pull. Now that you guys are feeling the second effects, everyone can start turning into things to want to help out the next leg. So if you fail that 15, you will add a level of exhaustion because you are trying to move. Everyone paddling is trying to move all this debris in a direction that you believe is east.
I failed. I have 1 level now.
You have a level.
Okay, I said I was going to polymorph before you said to roll.
Okay.
When I was reading the rules of
Well,
it.
if you do it, then you would have you could do it. You would do it straight. You're still swimming. And I will give
+1.
Cascade a normal roll now.
You have a +4 to
You're
fire
just
break,
doing
'cause
a
you're using your-
Oh, I do.
Constitution roll, Liwanico,
Hold on.
just for people who are trying to paddle or
No,
stay
fine. I have a +4.
stay on the rafts because the rain is coming down. It is a physical demand of staying on these debris and also moving along in whatever form you're trying to do. And if you are near Zindrid, so you get a +3 bonus.
+4 and advantage.
4?
Unless he's at disadvantage.
Nope, he's not. And then you
I'm already at advantage just because I'm me.
you're good. Just
I failed. I have a level.
Okay. And this is really exhaustion because you're trying to move people across bad weather
24.
conditions. You're good. All right, as you start moving, those who are not in the water, underwater, as animals, so Vaymon, Zindrid, I guess HK, and Liwanik, you might want to change your name, and Jew, and the others of the NPC group, will notice now there's a fog starting to come in with this rain.
Well, Alexi hasn't done any polymorphing yet because my suggestion would be to pace us out so that we can individually help because the polymorph spell doesn't last that long.
It lasts an hour.
Yep.
I can get 2 hours out of mine.
Okay.
I had a shape change spell, but somebody used my friggin' spell slot.
That guy was a very fun guy. He's cool at parties.
I mean, I could have been a real cool creature then.
All right.
I don't know. We're a party, and we didn't think it was that cool.
Oh, true, but it's all about perception.
It was a blast.
So you're hitting fog. So anyone want to do anything at this moment?
I don't notice I'm underwater.
Yep.
I'm assuming I have anything that can banish fog, so hopefully there's nothing nasty in it.
All right.
Nope.
So now everybody
Detect magic.
floating around cannot see very well. So about 7-8 feet is about where you can see someone else. So imagine the sailor boys in the back are kind of being lost to visual sight to most of the people in the front. Let's kind of get a little...
We should send ropes to everyone so we can
Oh, they're
pull
tied.
ourselves closer together.
They're
Oh,
tied.
okay.
We should all be tied together. Yeah.
They're tied, but oh no,
we
there's
should
some slack
be
on
one
this rope.
one ramshackle raft that we dubbed the USS Flotsam.
Gone.
Yeah.
Everybody pull together if you can. Let's not lose track of each other.
Yeah. Why would we even allow there to be slack? Why would we not pull them all taut within like touching?
Yeah, we should.
So then you wouldn't have the dramatic moment where you pull the rope and it's
We're not done. We
broken on
don't do
the end.
dramatic moments.
Because it's pretty much the way I would figure it'd be the easiest way of physics to... These are already stuck things together. If you're not, you have to stop, take time, lash all these things together in the sea to kind of make some type of functional circular construction.
I would just try to pull them close enough
Yeah,
so that they're
I
not
would
as far
pull
apart.
them all closer together. I wouldn't let anyone be any further
Okay,
than like.
then it's going to
5 feet
require
distance.
people with strength to now occupy them to tighten up.
To be fair,
can
we
do
already
that.
thought that this is what we had done
Okay.
Correct.
like,
Fair.
before we even left.
I thought so as well.
I would definitely take the time and use my strength to do that. I would also say I would also make sure that on regular intervals everybody sounds off with their name, and that way at like every 10 minutes or so, and then that way if anybody is lost we'll know and we'll be close enough or whatever, and if that needs to be a shorter interval then that's what we'll do, but basically it's to keep track of everyone so nobody's lost in the fog. As long as there's fog and we have no visual from front to back, I would definitely be sounding off on a regular basis, and we need to kind of keep it in a line so that everybody knows who's going after them, and if anybody's missing, the last person who doesn't hear somebody after them has to say something. So basically it counts back the line and then it counts forward the line.
Yeah, simple.
That way we're not losing anybody along the way.
Okay. Cascade, how long does your polymorph stay?
8 hours.
8 hours. So an hour is going to pass.
And as I'm going, I am still checking, for any threats,
Okay.
either straight down or ahead.
Firebrand, do you have another spell slot to stay polymorphed?
I do.
You need to burn that one, please. All right. At that point, Cascade, you will notice there's a large shape coming from over here. And Zindrid, you will notice a large shape, a shadow from over there.
I am going to stop and
I think HK.
Is that
probably
the same one or two different ones
While she's seeing it underwater, you see it from the top.
from above?
But I'm only identifying the three people that would see it. So Cascade, HK, and Zindrid in that area.
Zendrid calls out and points.
All right.
HK
Something in the
readies
water.
himself.
All right. Ju and Vaymon, you cannot see where Zindrid is pointing because you can't see her.
Fair, with the visibility difficulty, she will use a direction right or left off of our line of flotsam.
Okay. So now everyone is sort of aware. What would you else like to do now that you're aware of this structure?
If it's, I'd like to Hunter's Market.
What's the distance?
Hunter's Mark, 90 feet.
Not in range.
Okay, as soon as it's in range, that's what I plan to do.
Okay.
since I'm going to drop the rope. I don't know what I know that Firebrand is next to me, and I don't know whatever. What did you say you are? A
Killer whale.
killer whale?
Orca.
Okay. then I will bump into you and click and whistle. I'm gonna go scout and check it out from below. Because if it's the same ship, we're not going that way.
Firebrand, give me a wisdom save for your
I
raft.
didn't know you spoke whale.
What?
13.
Okay, you make it. All right, you. So at this point, Cascade, you swim out there, and you will note that it is definitely a ship, and it's smaller than the ones that you were on, or the one you. It's not the ghost ship either.
Okay.
It is an actual physical hull.
Okay. Cool. If I peep my head above water, do I is there a flag? Like, do they have a...
Give me perception check at advantage.
That'll be 29.
Yeah, you swim around a little bit. Sometimes it's in the front of the side, up there. This one it's blazing in the back of the ship, and it says the Heart of the Mermaid.
Do I know that ship?
Give me a history check.
Because that's a strong suit. 13.
You've never heard of this ship.
Okay. I'll go back to the group and swim up to the side that Alexi's on and look at him like, I got something to say.
Let's give me an insight check.
To recognize expression, I got something to say on Dolphin.
Yeah. You just make it.
That is one of my strong suit skills. And it's,
Out of 10. You really think the dolphin wants to talk?
okay, I will cast Speak with Animals. I will be blatant about it.
All right, use that spell slot.
I'm casting. And then Speak in Dolphin. Yes.
Mr. Lexi, it's another ship. It isn't the ghost ship. So for that we're relatively safe, but she's named the Heart of the Mermaid. And I don't know this ship. I don't know if any of y'all might know this ship. I don't know if they're friendly or foe.
Does the Heart of the Mermaid strike any kind of potential that I might have seen it at the docks or anything in
For you?
Fangsport? Or
You don't recall it at the Fangsport.
okay. I'm not familiar with the name of the ship, but I'm not a sailor. You'd have the best chance among us to have encountered another ship before. So I will look to the group in general. She says that there is a ship, the Heart of the Mermaid. Is that correct?
Dolphin bomb.
So, but she's unfamiliar with it, and I don't know that any of us else could or would be. That is a question. Heart of the Mermaid, anybody?
Doesn't ring a bell, but at this point, I really don't care. We need to get on a boat.
You have to throw her a fish so she keeps coming back with more information. That's how it works.
I would definitely see if there's anything in my memory that sparks.
We need to get out of the water, so a ship is a ship. But yeah, Zendrid is also going to search her memory banks.
Neither one of you have heard of the Heart of the Mermaid.
Okay.
So someone shoot a flame arrow up in the air as like a flare or something to draw their attention over here.
I can draw their attention, but it's going to be loud.
I don't care.
Somebody throw a stick or some small object that they don't mind being destroyed in the air. I will strike it.
Okay. With what?
Something goes up in the air. I'm going to swing at it and then use use Thunderous Smite. That's going to make a loud, booming thunder noise that's going to be heard for 300 feet.
Okay, it's still
We're in the
foggy.
middle of a storm,
and-
so
and
they
rainy.
might just think that's regular thunder.
Yeah.
Mr. Lexi, I can just pull us over there with fire brand.
Well, I mean, if it's close enough. Translate that to dolphin
Dolphin.
or whale.
I believe that would be the thing to do.
Oh wow, well done, David.
Everybody is
I'll be here all night.
intending to get onto that ship.
Okay. So you're gonna pull the group over?
I'll duck back underwater and go to my larger companion and nudge him in that direction.
All right.
As we get closer, I mean, if we want to call their attention, we should just yell and scream. Fog or not, they'll hear us.
Oh yeah, I didn't know how far away it was.
Maybe if I swim really fast and ram their ship, it'll get their attention.
All right.
Oh yeah, so
You will hear it.
quick question, HK. Do we want to fully draw their attention and have them try to help rescue us, or do we want to like SEAL team this and just take the boat?
SEAL team, like little critters that swim on the rocks.
Yeah, I mean we got dolphins and whales, so why not just?
There's no Marsoc here. We're
What? All right, no, never mind.
I say we are
I'm fine with
truthful and
announcing
honest.
ourselves. And, yeah.
We are truthful and honest. We're in need of rescue, and then we'll
Yeah.
take it from there. If
Okay.
they intend us harm, we'll know what to do.
Desire says, yeah,
Yeah.
we should totally take the ship and just kill them all and take it.
Yeah, well, yeah. If they tend harm,
That's a
we'll-
hard pass.
No, daughter dearest, that's not how we operate.
Oh,
We,
sorry.
we should at least speak to people first, yes. In the end, if they mean
then we'll
us
just
harm,
kill some
then
of them.
just, or maybe just one lonely
Maybe just
person.
one.
I see
Just
where
a
you're
little
going.
one?
Now you're just making it sad, Jew.
All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello,
Hey there!
hello.
What are you doing
People
out here?
overboard. You guys might want to.
Crew overboard. Like I'll be shouting and screaming and the whole bit.
Really? All right.
Help.
And I will continue to monitor the water, make sure everybody gets aboard safely before I drop wild shape with flare. Where's the rum gone? Don't let it roll away.
Not the rum.
Save it!
Why is the rum gone?
Oh yeah, we gotta save the rum for otherwise. she
Yeah,
can't
I was attached to it.
That's like payment.
Zhu was thinking about having that fused on where his hand used to be.
Ooh, a nice tankard.
Just like one big tanker.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Spike it too, so you can punch with it.
All right, you two are getting polymorph and getting back on the boat. You said.
I will dive deep and then quickly swim to the surface and jump onto the boat and and drop wild shape, in the process landing on my feet.
Jesus, this looks like a freaking party boat now.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got a lot of people going on. Like,
I think its water line just went down a couple of feet.
yeah, she's pretty stacked with people now.
Well, HK's not exactly a lightweight.
Yeah, it's bobbing a little bit.
Easy now.
You have,
Easy
to
now.
stand you have to stand directly in the middle for this to work.
That's exactly. I was about to say that. Nobody stay. We can't all stay on one side. We're gonna list.
Okay.
Oh,
Alexia
you got some
Firebrand.
funny ones there, don't you?
Alexia or Firebrand, one of you two should probably converse with their captain and let them know what's going on.
Why wouldn't I do it? I'm the captain of our.
Yeah, we saw how
Previous
that
vessel.
went on the last boat.
All right, there is
Ouch.
a young-looking individual,
Oh, Cap-
probably in his late teens. There's an older man, and then there are pretty rugged, thick mustache individual, and two pretty rough-looking pirate fight. Definitely look like hardened sailor warriors that you've seen kind of like used on boarding actions a lot, Cascade. They look like a veteran crew. There's nothing about them that looks odd. They're all human. Give me a history check.
I got sister.
Pretty sure we could take them all HK.
19.
Oh,
19.
wait, I have exhaustion,
Hephaestus
so it's,
and Jew
Oh.
also
I
give
have-
me history checks.
yeah.
I
One
have a,
level of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks.
Yes.
yeah, should I have rolled that again?
Yes.
Okay.
You are tired right now, and it's trying to think.
Well,
15 on my
18.
history check.
18, still cool. Well, pretty much, you because of your
14.
time sailing, you will notice
20.
that their and HK for sure. You'll notice that their attire is very similar to Eastern Garden of Gaia sailor attire. So they are. That's why it didn't come easy to you recognize the ship. You don't think it's a Jacksonport, Fangsport vicinity ship from that direction on the west, or maybe even south. It seems definitely this is an Eastern vessel from what the crew are wearing attire-wise.
Okay.
Well, good news, Cascade. You chose the right way of dragging us along. Apparently, we went east.
Based on that, they would probably know of the Warforged Legion, correct?
Most likely, yes.
knows around.
Okay. Excellent.
Well, Miss Zindred, do you want to come with me?
Certainly, Mr. Fluffykins.
So she will approach
I'm
the
sorry,
older.
pardon me. Captain Fluffykins.
Okay.
She will approach the older gentleman, and we're sorry to intrude on your vessel. I'm Cascade Brine, erstwhile captain of the Heart of the Storm, and well, that's what's left of it.
Well, sorry to hear about that. But we were just sailing on by and thought you could, heard the noise a little bit and thought we'd have some bobbing. No one likely help you, pick you up, get you where you need to go.
Are you the captain?
No, we lost our captain a while ago. Don't have first mate either. They're quite gone.
We have a new captain.
Red flag.
Ben, when you get a moment, I'll let the scene play out, but there's some things I want to be doing while they're talking.
Okay.
So who's in charge?
No one. We're now kind of democratic crew, I suppose, on this mission to help you along.
Ladies and
Right.
Us
Perhaps-
specifically.
No, we were just sailing in. That's what we were doing.
Sailing
From
into
where?
port?
Yep.
Which port?
Fingsport, yeah, that's where we're headed.
The one with the ships.
ladies and I feel uneasy.
Were
about
they
this
headed in
boat.
the right direction to be headed to Fangsport?
Fuck,
Yeah.
you barely
We don't know.
where
We
you
don't
are.
know what direction.
We don't. Yeah.
They are
Zindrig
going
murmurs
in
to
a
you,
direction.
Raymond. I'm picking it up as well.
Perhaps we should force a little direction onto the crew.
He goes, name's Simon. At your
Possibly.
service.
See how this plays out.
Captain and, ma'am.
Well, as you are captainless, and we happen to have a captain,
Well, holy rolling storms, what luck.
Glancing at Zindred and then back, like, the fuck is going on here?
Well, seems like
Um,
Poseidon's just sending us on a good fortune run.
indeed, serendipitous.
Here's they pass out water.
How did you
They're
lose your
not
captain?
gone and left us.
Fell overboard.
Your first officer as well? They just up and left?
Went off together. Fell in love, left us
Went
behind.
off.
Tale as old as time.
Yeah. Let me tell you, when you're sailing through the adventures I had to go through with this ship, and then you see love like that, you know, you can't get really mad about it. It's kind of romantic, you know, old stories and such.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, that's what, you know, then we sail on the heart of the mermaid, so, you know, captain and the first mate fall in love, they want to continue on, then we just gotta let it be. So now we're out without a captain, but see, Poseidon wants to have a captain again. Ma'am.
Well, are you willing to change course?
Yeah, sure. You know, we're just going to Fingsport.
So you said, I am more interested in heading west.
West. Gotcha. He goes, all right, boys. Get my notes here. Rolf. Bernard. Gerald. Aldous. Hit the sails. Let's get out of the storm. Head west.
She's actually going to look towards the wheel, because usually I would assume that there's a compass mounted near the wheel.
Yep.
She's going to head that direction, and she's going to look at the compass.
Okay.
That's why she's the captain.
There's quite a bit of stuff back there.
So, Ben, I wanted to do two things during that conversation. One was invoke Zone of Truth, which lasts for about 10 minutes while he was kind of having that conversation via Lawbringer.
Uh-huh.
And then the
Perfect.
second thing was just use my Battlemaster ability to size up him as an individual, and I'll eventually start passing through their crew to kind of see what we're up against all totaled. All as we go, but I can't obviously do it all at once, so it's kind of
Okay.
as you want to feed me that information, but I'm going to systematically go through the crew.
What is
I
your
was kind of doing the same thing,
What is your save?
sizing up the crew.
My save DC is 17.
Okay. Everybody else, you will need. You said wisdom or charisma? I mean charisma. Charisma, right?
Yeah, I believe that's how that works. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the
Charisma
funny
saving.
thing about this spell: it doesn't distinguish friend or foe. So if you wish
Nope.
to be able to tell a lie, you are going to also need to roll.
I have no need to lie.
Okay, then you can roll just for funsies, but that's the DC is 17 on charisma.
Jew, don't worry about losing your hand. You're just as cool without it, man. You're just as strong.
Just make you a
just
rap
as
guy.
handsome.
It just makes you.
I
If you're
failed.
also near Zindred,
Oh
you'll get
no!
a bonus. But
Yeah,
just role play
advantage
out.
and +4.
17 is what it is. If not, you will be compelled to tell the truth, but you can be evasive.
What's the bonus off of Zindred?
4 if you're near him.
4 and advantage if you're within 10 feet.
So that would be a straight roll, because I just rolled 2 because I'm at disadvantage for exhaustion.
Yep. If you're
So
near
I'm
him.
gonna reroll. That was even worse.
What level of exhaustion do you have?
1.
That only affects ability checks, not saving throws.
Yeah.
Well, I just did a straight roll, so let me roll again for the advantage, and it's a little better. 4, you said? So I still failed. I had a 16.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you
let's
need to tell
figure
the
this
truth.
out.
Oh,
Pfizer
no.
needs a nap.
All right.
So I'm looking at Simon because he was the main one talking.
Yeah.
So.
After moments, they're getting the ship going on, moving about. Gerald and Aldius are definitely fighting men. Probably around level 2. Simon, maybe a little bit. These are not warriors of any type of renown.
I'm gonna go up to the first two that you mentioned.
And you said Gerald and who?
I will. Rolf is the only. Sorry, Gerald and Aldous, Aldous. They are what appear to be second level fighters. Simon looks like he has some fighter in him, but not a lot. Renard, the young boy, a young teen, looks like he has no abilities that look like any type of class skill level. Rolf, the other warrior male there, he seems to have a bit of rogue in him.
No, he's shady.
He's shady, yeah.
With a real Slim Shady.
But they're all, very, very poor skill level.
I want to go up to Gerald and Aldous.
Okay, they are trying to get the sails in the direction to go where you
So,
want
and this is over time, so you let me know when you feel comfortable having me make a roll, or if I need to make a roll. I would be asking about their captain, because obviously this sounds like they mutinied, and I want to make sure the story that we were told was actually true.
Okay. The way he says the captain left us, fell in love and went on away. He's speaking truth. You feel like he's speaking the truth to you. He
Okay.
kind of knows it. That seems to be the tale of what you're getting, unless you're asking for something kind of different. But apparently the captain and the first mate both left this ship. It seems to be a confirming tale.
All right.
Probably left him.
I will pass that word to our people via whatever mental link we have with Zindrid. That way we're quietly and not letting them know that we were questioning their integrity.
Okay.
But that way we all know, including our lower crew members, people can take them off to the side and just let them know. I think they're on the up and up. And I will say I have confirmed the veracity of at least the statements they've made thus far, with the help of Tyr and the Blades.
Okay. Laura will bring you, Zindrid, over to this area here in the back of the ship. And she goes very quietly under her breath and almost she isn't doing great. She gets your attention and then she drow signs to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, look at the map. And what you'll see is on the top, there is the eastern shore of Spero. So you see the Garden of Gaia. You see the kingdoms of the human settlements. You'll see Forstad in the south part where the river kind of goes. There is a dotted line that looks like it's going directly south to the southern part of Spero. There's some type of star there. Underneath the map, there seems to be one that's been redrawn. At this time, while HK, you're doing all this, Cascade, you are perceiving through the telescope. After a few hours, the storm has broken. The fog is starting to peel away.
The compass, are we headed in the right direction?
Here's the thing, the compass doesn't seem like it's moving.
It's busted.
As everything kind of peels away, you start to see, everything clear. You start to see the horizon going forward. Please give me a survival check. At it, you'll be straight because of your familiarity with what's going on. That's taking
21.
away your disadvantage.
21.
Okay. The first thing you will pretty much notice immediately is the stars are gone. And the ocean waves have calmed way too easy. These are phenomenons that you have never experienced before, and you actually know that something is not right.
I will edge my way over to Zindrid.
Okay.
Wait a minute, do I have a mental connection with you as well?
There isn't actually a mental connection. I can use message at will because of my sword. So the way it works, if you want everybody to know something, is you have to tell me, and then I can quietly send it out. But
Gotcha.
if you want to speak to me, you have to come to me. Unless you
Gotcha.
have something that'll reach out to me.
Now, this
she's-
new crew seem to be there's not many of them, so they're very busy doing what you've instructed. They're not looking at you, listening in, or anything like that. So you have got pretty much leeway, and especially with all these extra bodies on, it's easy to kind of move yourself and shimmy yourself to be not seen and whisper to Zindred or anybody, for that matter.
Well, I believe in the course of an hour, she would have also have noticed the maps because she probably would have checked out everything that's on the upper deck.
Okay.
So Zendrid was going to have you come look at the maps specifically. I just haven't gotten that far yet. So.
Yeah. So she will, if Zindrid is still in that vicinity, she will point out the things that she has noticed as being off, really, really weird and wrong. Simon, where the hell was that? Simon, I didn't even know what that was. Simon.
Might be that little
Simon.
There might have been water bubbles still out of there.
Yeah.
From being a dolphin. Oh yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
Mr.
Captain.
Simon. What is this a map to? Of?
That map right there is the eastern side of Spero. The Garden of Gaia dynasties. Yeah. Went up and down there quite a bit. Did a lot of ferrying.
Well, I've never sailed this far south is where this line is going and where this has been marked.
That line don't mean nothing anymore. That's old news, Captain. But we're going the other way. You wanted to go west, right?
Well, see, I do need to go west. We all do.
Right, Captain. So line don't mean nothing anymore. That's old line. I'm not much of a map keeper, so I didn't. That was the old first captain, first mate.
Right, but where did it go?
We don't know. We were heading there. Never made it.
Then why were you going there?
Captain wanted
And
to go
why
there.
do you line and mark if you don't know what's there?
Captain had a ferry. Wanted to go there a long time ago, though.
And while they're questioning him, I would like to use detect thoughts via Lawbringer, and basically it's going to be consistent. It's an at-will ability for the sword, so basically every time they're asking a question, I would like a read on his surface thoughts, and then I'm pushing deeper, so he's making that check every question he asks, that he's asked.
Okay, cool.
When the sun set, which direction were we heading? Based upon, sunset.
From when you on your vessel, you think you were heading west, and then you told him to move west. You still have not. You believe you went east. So the ship did do a little bit of a turn to what you would say probably like 35 degrees from where you were going, but you can't tell if that was east or west.
So
now in the situation, you can't tell at all. Like,
right. So you're saying the sun was already set when everything cleared.
Yeah, you were still in the storm and in the fog. Like now that the fog and storm have cleared, you expected to see the stars or a sun, and you've got instead night, but there are no stars, and the sea is calm.
So and I will, Mr. Simon, have you ever seen a phenomenon like this? And she's pointing up.
HK, you know he's thinking about a memory, and it seems to be accurate. He goes, yep. A little less than this, but very similar, yeah.
And what was that?
No, just passages of a storm. And again, he seems to be telling very truthful tales. Give me an insight check, HK, and then because you have the detect thoughts going on and with all your swords, you will get it at advantage.
How public is this questioning? I mean,
pretty loud. This is a very small boat, you can see.
That's a 17.
Okay, I'm going to type you something as they're going.
Okay.
I think the captain left because this crew's
Sketch.
horrible.
Incompetent.
I'm saying this out loud. I'm drawing my sword. I think we should just take over the boat.
We already have.
So, should we tie him up?
Okay, Desire takes out her weapon.
We go sail the ship.
No.
We can.
We have a new crew.
You
We
can't
have our own
sail
crew.
shit. You can't even tie a knot.
You have your own crew. You saved
Got
them.
one hand.
The one good spell you did, Jacob, I might add, did save them at that time before you went into sinking it.
I didn't say I'm not sailing the ship. I'm the protector. Unlike this crew that couldn't protect the freaking anything.
They fell in love, man. That's why they love.
Look at them. Defeated guys like this in the Gladiator Championships all the time.
While we're
The
talking,
guy
I'm
that
now
says
gonna.
Rolf looks to you, Jew, and goes, "Fuck you. Fuck you. What you don't know."
And then I yell, "Yeah, Jew, fuck you!"
You should come say that to my face so I can punch you.
Oh yeah.
'Cause that's what I want to do.
Ah, he gets in your face.
I'm gonna punch him
Okay,
right in the
roll.
face.
Roll.
Who's punching
And now
who?
he's dead.
Jew is punching
Good
this guy,
job.
Rolf.
Natural
Oh,
20.
Jesus.
Throw a 30.
You hear a crack, and he just drops.
Lay on hands. Lay on hands.
I can't tell a lie right now, so I don't know why you thought I was messing with you. Anybody else?
Desire.
Well, how
I'm
long
not-
is?
Damn,
how
I'm
long-
not letting him die.
Give me a religion check right now, HK.
Religion.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I'm gonna cast True Seeing.
That's I believe that was an 8.
Okay.
He did.
These guys don't look all whole, Aleski. They seem whole, but there's something odd about it.
They have no soul.
I was
As the
definitely
guy
gonna
kind of laying
ask.
there after a while, he gets back up and goes, "Lucky fucking shot," and he goes back to the side of the boat.
Did I actually help him?
Ah,
I
it
think it
seemed
was
like
lucky.
it.
I'm gonna kill him.
Stop. I'm gonna go back to where Simon was being questioned, and I'm just gonna straight up tell him, I'm like, I am not sure if you're aware of who I am or who I represent, and without brandishing the weapons, I'm gonna show the blades, and I will tell him these are the blades of Tyr. He's the god of justice and truth. While you have been honest with us thus far, and I have made sure my people are aware of that, you have also not been forthcoming. There's information you have chosen not to tell us. I am here to give you this one opportunity to tell us 100% of what you know about this situation. Something is not right here. If you fail to tell us 100% of what's going on, if you are responsible for anything that may put me, my friends, our people in jeopardy, I will know. It will be revealed to me. So I ask you directly, is there any information you are not giving us that impacts our lives? Yes.
Zindrid stands
or
at his
no.
shoulders. He's speaking, by the way, to look intimidating. Sorry, I thought you were done.
Okay, roll intimidation.
You're fine.
I did at disadvantage, so I have a 15.
Wow. He goes,
I can also intimidate, but if you need me to, but I'd be happy to roll that if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead, roll it too.
Because I'm not being nice and persuading. I'm
Yeah.
actually straight up telling them.
Cass is gonna cross her arms and try to look intimidating, but I doubt she will.
I'm at a 25.
Wow.
Whoa. All right. He's like,
At 500 plus,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
standing nearly 7.5 feet tall,
Wait.
looking
Hold on.
down with my red eyes.
I'm a little envious. Everybody's
gold
like
skin.
flexing, so I'm gonna flex.
Oh, jeez. Yep, you have to flex.
I gotta I only get a 12.
Oh, you're
Flex
upset.
up
You're
my
getting
arm.
upset that you're not
I-
as
You,
intimidated.
you try to flex, and like you feel some pain and some blood squirts out of your stomp.
Yeah, you kind of want to be like, you want to muscle up, but you just happen to, your eyes are not looking at Simon because you're looking at the stump of a hand. And
I rolled
Simon
the
goes,
6.
whoa, 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 mighty heroes of Silk, calm the fuck down. This situation doesn't have to get out
Did you
of
say
hand.
anything about Silk to him?
No, we sure did not.
What?
Ah.
Yeah, you did. You stepped over there, said something.
Fuck you! Just like that other guy said to Jew.
Whoa, hey, I
Kill him.
I didn't make this situation for you. You know, this is just the ride. Where you go?
And we appreciate
I'm going to,
we appreciate the
approach
rescue, but
Simon.
you're gonna start spilling, or we're gonna spill you overboard.
Well, to be honest, madam, that ship's already sailed.
Jew, throw that other guy overboard.
Don't.
Alrighty, I'm going over to him.
Don't.
So that ship's already sailed, as in you've already been thrown over and drowned previously.
Give me an insight check, Sindred.
Are they zombies? If they're zombies, I'm fucking killing them all.
At disadvantage.
That exhaustion.
If they're undead, I am also flat out killing them all.
I'm starting to like vape on you.
We're gonna end up in the water again.
I'm
Well, I had a
betting
nat 20,
Holy
but it turns
shit.
into a 23 instead because
Wow.
of disadvantage.
Yeah.
Just don't cast
they're
fireball.
revenants, I bet.
You're a noble woman of high birth, not to mention someone who is used to intimidating and setting pressure. You've seen this man's status. He's told you he's a man of no rank. So, with what you have around you, you know what you have around you. The array of champions that are at your disposal and their capabilities. This man should be wetting himself, especially at this. He's an old, feeble guy.
Right.
You're looking at someone with no fear, like he's detached. It's off. That what could be like a lot is kind of your feeling from West of your crew. Seems like it's a very high plausible story. There's something with this that is just uncanny, unnatural about him and the crew. Like they're not even worried. And this is a ship that's out far west of Spero without a captain.
I activate my
Sailor.
divine sense to detect good and evil.
You do not detect evil.
It will also
Undead.
identify the location of celestials, fiends, and undead within 60 feet that are not behind total cover.
They are indeed undead.
I'm going to move so that everybody is generally within line of sight to me, everybody in the party. So telepathically to everybody. I can get some of us, but not all of us, including our crew, away from here. If we complete the journey that this boat is taking us on, it will be far more difficult.
Where do you feel it's taking us?
Do we just need to take this boat?
I don't think we can take this boat.
Are they undead?
I suspect this boat was
Are
sent
they
by
zombies? Tell me
We're
they're
going
zombies.
for the Drake. If it's taking us to him, we would take this ride. The question is confirming where it's taking us.
I don't know. It seems like we're on another plane or something. So
Indeed, with no stars above our heads.
I don't remember hearing anything about the Isle being on another plane.
What's the look on Simon's face as we're having this conversation?
Again,
Well,
you've
You can only
intimidated
talk
many
to me
people.
telepathically, and I can talk to you telepathically. You can't.
Oh, you're doing
talk
this telepathic.
together.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
But
no.
knowing Jew, he's just talking out loud.
I was very much talking.
100%.
I failed the lying stat, so yes, I am talking very much out loud.
How long did the truth spell last?
It was only like 10 minutes, buddy. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just talking truth because you talk truth anyway.
Well, that's it. I point at that Rolf, the guy I punched in the face. Are you a zombie?
Nope. You a zombie?
Are you dead?
Maybe.
Where are you taking us? Tell us truthfully now.
Why? What are you gonna do?
Zindra draws the sword of the Raven Queen that shines with radiant energy. It says, you may be undead, but
You could be deader.
this sword was made to kill undead.
Okay.
My swords are drawn. As soon as Indra draws her blade, I am in sync with her actions.
I am drawing my sword.
And my Tyr's word.
Well,
We
So-
will make sure that you will not
I
go
will
past
single
this
hand.
encounter.
he looks to Simon and goes, "Well, Simon, looks like this ship just breeds mutiny." Simon goes, "Well, Rolf, what do you expect? They don't know what's going on. They've all been chasing their little doggy tails all the way around here. That's the way it's gonna be. Guess they can
Where
just flex
are you
their muscles."
taking
Simon, I swear, I will. Pun intended. I will single-handedly kill you all.
Rolf goes, "Fuck you. We're already dead, meathead.
Oh, all right. I'm
And guess
going
what?
attack mode.
You're about to, because you just entered the world too. One-way
All right.
trip to hell or to Hades.
I would like to
man.
proceed in attacking Rolf,
Yeah, go for it.
and I will go full on rage
Cool.
and reckless and frenzy and all that.
All right.
While Juice uselessly fighting this guy, I'm gonna take a long rest.
19.
You ram him right through the chest. Scabbard in. He looks and goes, "God damn, that fucking stings still."
Still
I'm
talking.
gonna-
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a decapitating strike to his head.
Okay.
His head
Chop
still
off
has
his
head.
yes.
God damn, you go lost your head again, Rolf. Every freaking time you just don't shut up. There you go.
16.
What happened? Just lose your head. His head's off. He just looking at you like, "Fuck you."
Kick it overboard.
Just throw them overboard. Zindra
Kick it
Kick it
yells out.
overboard.
All right. Well,
And she grabs the nearest one and just hurls him over the side.
Well, that's pretty rough. I didn't know. I wouldn't go in there if I were you either.
What the
Then
fuck
let's
is
turn
going on?
around.
I'm gonna
HK
spin the
will
wheel.
follow Zindred's orders. Anybody, whoever's closest to him, I will try to, unless he acts offensively, leave Simon for last. But I will yoke up anybody who's in the way and toss them. As I do it, I will shout for justice, for Tyr, and for the end of all that is unholy, and use Word of Radiance cantrip as I'm doing it. So the process of striking them overboard also gets a beautiful 46 radiant damage attached to it.
So you're decimating the crew of the Heart of the Mermaid?
Anything that's undead, those undead guys, yeah, they're going over.
Okay. You will decimate the crew of the whole crew of the Mermaid.
And I'm leaving Simon for last, so he's the last one. And then I'm going to ask him once they're all gone, I'm going to ask him, where are you taking us?
Well, you're
They're taking us to Hades. They told us that a moment ago. HK.
Careful as you throw these over. Do
Yeah, it
not let
sounds
the
like-
water touch you. Do not let it splash you. Do not lean down and touch the water.
It sounds like they've already taken us to someplace that I've seen before.
Turn this
Not
around.
upon
Cascade,
the
take the
ocean
wheel and
anymore.
see if you can turn us about.
That ain't gonna work, but go right ahead. You seem to have your purpose in mind. Them
Well, if
stones
you gave
are
us some kind of
pretty rough.
information to assist us, we wouldn't necessarily be in this point. But if you're going to leave us to simply figure it out for ourselves, we don't need you either, and we can throw you overboard.
Very true,
Say the
man.
word.
Very true. But I like to be a little more civilized. As we were just kind of going forward and just seeing how little part of the plan you're a part of.
Well, you fucked
What plan would
around,
that be?
and then you found out.
Yeah, you're all very violent, so you're gonna like it here.
What? You know what plan he's talking about, Lady Zindred?
I do not. And if he would be any kind of forthcoming, perhaps all of this could have been avoided.
No, it couldn't have. We ride upon the river Styx. We
Well,
are
you've
on
been
a
just
boat-
as obscure. You've been just as obscuring as they have been, Oleski.
No,
I'm on the
I just
verge of
figured-
threatening to throw you overboard if you don't speak plain.
I just figured it out, but nobody is letting me speak. I'm trying to tell you, we are on a ferry on the river Styx, going to Hades' realm. He sent a ship to pick us up in the ocean. As I said, I can get some of us out of here, but not all. And I
Sounds
don't
like we should be
choose.
healed.
That's not where there, son. He's kind of tied your soul to the vessel. This is a very special vessel. Very special.
It's a ghost ship. Was that the ghost ship we were on?
Nope, it wasn't the ghost ship you were on.
It's a new ghost ship.
Sort of.
Where's the ghosts? You're muted.
What do you mean we tied our souls to this vessel?
When you got on board, you chose the ferry to go where you need to go.
Where we needed to go was after the Drake, not to this place.
Still get there sometime, maybe. It's been happened before. Your journey's not totally doomed. It's an old mythical tale, one told long times ago.
Tell it now.
If we're about to meet
Well,
up with
you
Hades,
know.
I need to be healed.
Passage of the test of the gods. Gods send great heroes and challenges. Test their abilities, their might, their intelligence to do great things. And, when you get the attention of the gods, you sometimes get tests that you come down the road. Or the ocean waves, as one might say. So, my champion, I understand that you're very mighty and you killed all the peoples around you, but they already did. They already had it coming. They weren't good anyways. They didn't make it. Well, I'm alright. I knew my time was coming long times ago.
Lady Zindred, can we attempt to defeat this foe, Hades?
I'm not positive that we're ready to face a god, but if we have no way to avoid this trip, Oleski, if you feel you can get some of us out, how many? And do you think it will work, despite what Simon says?
What Simon says. That's pretty funny.
I'm gonna whip him just because I'm
Zindred-
tired of hearing him talk.
Zindred
Thank you.
casually backhands with her blade and beheads the bastard.
Alright, he's just a man with a head now. Not yet.
We died. If that's not the biggest long rest there ever was, then I don't know what.
Not quite, but close. You're getting there.
So,
Did we die?
Despite what he says,
oh god.
Alright, Desire will remove the head, it'll kick it off the ship, so now you have no longer banter from the old Heart of the Mermaid.
French fried taters.
despite what he says, we haven't completely chosen the ferry. We
I didn't
haven't
think
paid
there
our
was-
30 pieces of silver each.
It's a good thing I didn't offer to pay for passage. I almost did.
Mr. Lexi, how many people can you transport?
If he's not telling the truth, I could take myself and 8 others.
So you can't get out of hell. Is what you're saying.
And
if
I
he's telling the
can't-
truth.
I can't send 9 people away. I can only take myself and 8 others.
But
Mr.
not from hell.
Mr. Lexi,
It could work.
He said if he's not telling the truth.
Well, he said our souls are bound to this boat, so it wouldn't work. But I have the ability to cross the plains. Mystic has given me the power to shift from one plane to another, and I can bring with me 8 other people.
I can do that as well tomorrow. Mr. Lexi, if you can do that, I feel a responsibility to my crew that I did not think that this was going to happen, and I would insist that if that you would get them out of there. There's the 6 of them. They didn't sign up for this.
I would concur with that. We owe them the chance of their lives. If the rest of us can get out later, we can.
I can come back, but some of us have been to the Fey realms already. Time works in different ways between all the realms and all the planes. So,
What
I've
happens
been
if
here
you?
before. I can stay if I need to.
What happens if you go to the other plane, but your soul is tethered to the boat?
Then it doesn't work, and we'll know. And then we
Okay.
ride this out. And we do our best to make sure those with us are protected as we move forward, which means we're protecting even if the target ahead of us is primary. We need to protect those with us. We can't
While
let them
we're-
perish here.
while we're on the river, we're not in hell yet.
I will add. You
Loophole.
don't think you're on a river. This still seems like an ocean.
But I'm assuming it's the
I understand,
boundary.
but your mental perception is also fucking with you, knowing that you don't think you're on a river.
yeah.
Like Cascade is pretty damn sure you're in an ocean.
I think the best thing to do is to try. Ben, how many of us are there total?
My crew is 6.
Yep, so 1, 2,
think the
3, 4,
count's
5,
18.
6, 7, 8, 14, 16 of you. And a cat.
So if Alexi takes all of them and 2 others, then Cascade should be able to, on the following day, take the rest. The real question is for Zindra to decide who goes in the first group and who goes in the second group.
And that's assuming that we have a day.
Correct,
Indeed,
which
we
is
don't
why I
know that
suggest we
have it
take.
the rest.
But at this point, we need to get them out of here, or at least try. We'll know immediately if it fails. If we are truly tied to this boat, that attempt is the only way to know that. And if that's the case, then we arm up, rest as we can, and steel ourselves to what comes ahead. But we need to know.
It is likely that whoever does not go on the first trip will get to the end of this trip before anyone is able to come back for them.
Entirely probable.
I'm staying.
I will stay for the last. That is what I do.
Jen, yes, the old gods of Greek mythology are the gods that you know. That this is kind of what I was talking about where Silk is. She's the new god. This is the supposed issue with what your quest is about.
Since not all of them had been mentioned in passing, that's the only reason I was asking.
Well, Poseidon is the god of the oceans, and Hades and Persephone are the deities of the underworld. You do know them. They are real.
Well, if you feel that we need to send the crew, I understand your senses of responsibility to them. I would contend that our responsibility to the world to see this mission out with but 1 sandstone remaining means that it should be the 7 of us and 2 more from our retinue. And even then that leaves some behind. A heartbreaking choice, but it would at least give the world a fighting chance.
If what Mr. Lexi is saying is true, and if the first attempt works, I can get other people out.
Provided they're still alive tomorrow.
Well, in a long rest.
Lady Zindrid, I have never, to my knowledge, ever second guessed your words, but respectfully, I plead that these laborers are in the first group.
Very well. So
I'm gonna take
Aleski,
that-
6 sailors, and who will be the other 2?
I might be selfish and take my daughter.
I'm not entirely certain I want her at my side in hell anyway.
Zach goes, are you kidding me? I'm staying here. It sounds like it's going to be more fun if I stay on the boat.
Yeah, I say take her with you.
I plead to stay.
You've been outvoted.
You don't get to vote.
Firebrand,
Last time we were in a
you should go. You should go with them.
Over yourself.
As much as we may need your magic, wherever Alexei is able to drop you, they're going to need some protection, especially if he's coming back to see if he can assist us.
Yeah, you can go protect the crew. Not Firebrand, the chick. Desire.
The other
This is an
side of
RNPC right
and,
now.
So you want me to split up for you guys?
where should I take everybody? It's not an exact transportation. The end result is near potentially where I want to go. So it might be several miles, from a particular intended destination.
How close to our original destination can you get and still be relatively safe?
As far as our sailing navigation goes, I can't because I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know where it is.
Go to
What is the closest place to that you have been?
Go to Greenfield.
Probably where we left with the ship.
No, what is it? Greenfield, the place that used to be Mayor Firebrand.
Greenwood.
We know that area. Greenwood.
That's not very close to where we were going, is it, Ben?
No, it's not even
It's on the West Coast.
It's
It
not
doesn't
even
matter.
Fangsport is the westernmost.
Yeah.
You're talking about the crew.
No, but we're going to need them to get back anyway. So I'm suggesting that we get them as close as safely possible to our end goal, which is the island where Drake was. Wait there, and then because the rest of us would know how to get as close to that as possible, we could link there. As opposed to going all the way back to where our journey started and then having to go back to the place where we're going.
Well, at Springsport, we'd have a chance to get a ship.
So you're talking about the crew joining us in the fight. If that's the case, then why are we trying to save them first? Then I would argue that Zindrid was correct. Then we should try to save ourselves because we're the ones trying to save the world.
I'm more thinking about once we do what we need to do, we're going to need them to get back. So we need them not necessarily on the island, but as close to that island as we can get, with Firebrand to protect them, and one other of our number to protect them. I would probably recommend Vaymont. We could, because I believe Alexei said there was one other than Firebrand that would need one other of our number that could go. Those two could protect that crew and wait for us there as close to that state. Basically, create a staging area for the rest of us when we get out.
Mr. Hephaestus, you forget, if there's trees on that island when we get there, I can get us back to wherever I've been. I can get us back to that town we were at. I can get us back to Fang's Port. And to be honest as well, I don't know what good this crew is going to do if we don't have a ship for them to sail.
If the ship is solid, could we turn around and just sail out of here?
Doesn't appear to be the case.
And I would be happy to stay behind and slay undead and demons alike.
Who's in our...
The Heart of the Mermaid is a sturdy vessel. There seems to be nothing wrong.
I mean, we could certainly try, but he gave no fear that we had the ability to turn this around. We have not
Let's try it.
tried. So let's try it.
Maybe he just didn't know you could. You can't lie if you're too stupid to know the truth.
I didn't get the impression that he was stupid, but I
I'll
say
go up to the
Cascade.
captain's wheel and start turning it.
Yeah, don't do that, Jew.
Mr.
Cascade,
Jew, hands off. That's mine.
You mean handoffs?
Oh.
set the crew to getting us turned about.
Jew, give
I'll
me a
s-
wisdom
I'll
save,
spin the-
please.
Who?
Jew needs a wisdom save.
Miss Cascade, please do not lay claim to anything on this boat.
Don't say you're the captain.
Swing away. Unarmed strike.
Who?
25.
Oh.
You take 6 damage, Cascade. As he just punches you. He looks angry.
I will step directly in his path. Stand down.
Another wisdom save, Jew.
Is Jew possessed or some shit?
Yep.
14.
It's his
14?
arm. What is his armor?
pass.
14.
You pass.
I step back.
Are
Instead
you
of just
okay?
talking and wondering, why are we not just acting and attempting these?
We will act in accordance with our positions and our jobs, Jew. You're not the pilot. Let the captain, let Cascade do what she needs to do. We all have
Hurry
roles
up and
here.
do it. We don't have a lot of time.
Mr.
Apparently.
Lexi, if I
Know
don't
your role.
turn this wheel, just to try. I mean, I don't want this boat. I know how to sail this boat.
I'm not saying we can't turn the wheel. I'm saying don't lay claim to the title of captain of this boat. Don't say I'm taking control of this boat.
Very well.
The
And
more you tie yourself to this boat, the more it ties itself to you.
she will spin the wheel.
So what happens if we touch the water
there any-
or not water?
According to the knowledge of the gods, if you bathe in the river Styx, you will lose your memories.
The vessel looks like it's moving. Sort of.
Is there any wind?
Nope. There's barely any water really crusting from the boat. Like, you see the wheel, the rudder's moving. All the functionality of the boat, the ship, the Heart of the Mermaid, does exactly as your crew can do. Except it's not, there's no physics here. It's just moving. You feel it's moving. It doesn't seem like it's moving, but you feel it's moving. You can't
there a
tell what
wake?
direction. Huh?
Is there a wake?
No, not really. Very little bit. That's what you can see, and it's so small because there's no waves. There's nothing out of the water that's doing anything from
Alexi,
natural
take-
circumstances.
Alexi, take the crew, your daughter, and the cat and attempt the plane walk.
Oh, and the cat.
My familiar will go with me. That's not a number included in the 8.
Oh no, he means the cat that's been mysteriously sticking around with us.
That's the cat.
That's my
Oh, is that the cat?
That's
Oh,
his familiar.
Oh.
I was wondering where this goddamn cat came
Her
from.
name
Fine,
is
take me, the crew, your daughter, and yourself. And
Speaking
attempt-
of, now that y'all mention it, the cat is on the map table, looking down at it. It's kind of brushed a couple of maps aside.
It knocked over my drink.
I'm
Right
gonna
off
look
the
at.
table.
I'm gonna
Let's
look
see
at
what the cat's looking at.
Yep.
The other map underneath is islands that look like they've been recently drawn on there.
If they were mapping out a new area.
Do any of them resemble the island that we thought we were headed to for the Drake?
No. In fact, there seems to be. Let me see, right. There were
7.
11 islands on this thing.
Does it look familiar at all to me?
Nope. You've never seen this chain of islands.
Something seems familiar.
There is also, the cat is sitting on what appears to be a ledger.
Well, let's flip through the ledger too.
Cat, very upset that you moved him.
Captain's log, day 372.
Picked up the crew. Should be an interesting journey. Not often do I deal with royalty, but today seems to be the day. I have picked up Killian, Maximor,
I knew it. Fucking
Melanie,
hell.
and Thea Hawkins of the Hawkins dynasty for a journey. This weird priestess that I have says it could be tied to something of my past that killed old Captain Hector. I hope that this journey will be fruitful for the risk that I'm taking. Signed, Captain Electo.
I've heard of the Hawkins. That Killian guy was one cool dude.
Now that the name comes in, you are aware the Hawkins are a dynasty in the Garden of Gaia. And you believe, you've heard, that Killian is a king.
That dude is cool. Handsome as well.
I'm at a loss.
Would they have wrote, since we know about them,
Oh yeah.
would they have written about what happened to them?
Yeah, it seems
We
like
haven't read about it
as
anywhere.
the journey goes, strange storm erupted a week after we had separated from land. We apparently were lost at sea. Then it comes to find out that our ship was we died, all hands lost, but yet we all seem to be here. The royal family, the elite guard, a couple other agents that are added there with him, all we seem to survive. The ship took no damage. Now that crazy priest seems to say that we are tied, that only some of us can escape. I'm not sure what. Several chapters you're kind of looking really quickly. There are islands that they seem to have found. One of them was an island of kobolds or something that the young priest had to deal with. A clan of kobolds that he and his men slaughtered, that seemed to have to face. Another one was a cyclops, some suitor for Melanie, was a test, but it was monstrously changed to this cyclops creature. Stones are being absorbed, and apparently these are passages out of a gate that can be found at the end of the journey to leave. But as you're quickly going through all these, they seem to be entailing that there will be only enough stones for so many people. And there was Rolf spoke out and was killed by Maximor when mutiny was about to happen.
He's the lich.
And then get them in line. And then Electo says he made a deal later with the royal family to save his crew as much as possible. But many of them are lost in this long quest to island hopping that seems that the boat is just on its own course. Like there's no way to change it, no way to move it. But they are safe on board, but it is meant to its destination, to a gate that they know they will escape once they pass the journey. Apparently Hades made some contract with the king, and that was the price that the young royal family had to ordeal to escape it. And that king is Demos Hawkins. So that's the brief. If there's any other more thorough questions. It's a long read. The first mate was Carme.
Does it go on to say what happened to the Hawkins? Did they escape?
It does say that Maximor looks like he is going through changes. No one seems to address it. He's devolving in front of them. There is undead qualities in Maximor. Things get very strange. There's not many of them left near the end. They say they have to leave the vessel, he does, to go finish the conflict. And there's no other entries exactly what happened. But he says Maximor seems to have gotten, in your reading, much more distance from the royal family from the other three. So Killian, Melanie, and Thea seem to be on one side as Maximor is on the other.
Alright, so the journal doesn't go up to the end of whatever they were doing on the island.
Apparently never got back to the ship.
So it says in there that they thought that if they went to these islands and defeated these foes, it would allow them to escape.
Yeah, that's what was happening. There seemed to be people of their past transformed into magical beasts or creatures or monsters, and they had stones in them. And each time they defeated one of these islands with that type of individual creature, a stone was released, and one of them was allowed to absorb it, and he was allowed to pass through the gate. Do you have the identify spell?
I do. Yes.
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, at disadvantage. $22.
Okay. You're pretty sure that the identify spell might, if you parts of the ship or the ship itself, might warrant you more information.
But if I identify parts of the ship, so I just walk around identifying things?
Yeah. Or the ship itself, maybe.
Yeah.
And you
touch
cast it
it.
at ritual, so it's not a spell slot.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. The heart of the mermaid basically will tell you it was definitely a vessel sailed first by Captain Hector, then passed on to Captain Lecto. There was a blue dragon that strafed the ship long ago that killed Captain Hector. Captain Lecto wanted to seek this dragon and get his revenge. That's what got him in a union with Melanie and her family, which he was pretty fond of for what their time, because he had done business with her before. The ship had gone up and down the Garden of Gaia for some time, many years. But this was a fated voyage, as they say, and was sold out. So Demos Hawkins sold out his own family to Hades, and this vessel had to take this journey. And they knew that they could rescue themselves, but it was going to be at a price, and many people were going to have to pay that price for only a select few to survive and get out. And many of them did. But what you will find out is Maximor did betray his family. And he came back with 7 individuals of great power from another realm that Hades apparently had taken their souls from, and he took the ship. The thief that you know, Jason, and Thea Hawkins, his little sister, turned and joined Maximor Hawkins. You know this vessel then left this area after it left the other Hawkins family to the fate of whatever fight they were doing, sailed to another part of the realm where it seemed to meet Hades himself. This vessel seems like it's able to make passage again out to the realm of mortal, and it let Maximor out. But at this time, Maximor had lost most of his flesh, and what you can see and feel that he is a lich, and he took on a different name, the Dark Sun. And the vessel returned back into Hades. And the crew was just put on and then sent to you by Hades to be picked up for a very similar journey.
So it looked like he could just sail the sucker right out of here.
apparently this vessel is enchanted. It can indeed win at certain gates, which it is predestined, knows its way out of the realm of Hades. You're unsure if your bloodstones are part of the pack, but the vessel seems to have this capacity to do it.
So we could just try to sail out to one of those gates and leave.
As per the history.
But how do we get the ship to do what we want it to do?
Just think where you want it to go.
Click your ruby heels.
We want the Drake. That's where we want to go. If I don't know if it's a combined thought, if it's one person that must will it.
Maybe it needs a new captain. Maybe the captain is the one that was able to make it go where it wanted to go.
Before we lay claim to anything or take any rash actions, we should be clear. No one makes any decisions or any claims until we are decided.
Is Cascade's will
Does
strong
it say,
enough?
Ben, does it say
Dictate?
anything? Does it say anything in the captain's log about controlling the ship? About how they sail it?
It does seem like there was a Captain Electo had his will, but he wasn't really sure if he was moving or not. That it was never figured out exactly. It seemed like the ship was destined to go where it needed to go.
Allow me to posit. Let me ask this question. These stones that you speak of in the logs, are these the sins that several of us carry with us at this time?
The boat's moving.
No.
Was it the souls of the people that had to get them? Like that you
They
said
were
their
kind of
dad
like soul keys.
betrayed them.
They were purposely made to unlock runes to a gate.
So they
What
were
you
keys.
have are something. Well, let me see. Give me another Arcana check, and I'm gonna give Zindred also the roll with the story that you guys are talking to each other about.
And is there any chance that as we're asking these questions, the swords might have any inkling or thoughts about how this might interact?
The swords have no idea.
14.
14,
Fair enough.
Zindred?
Stupid
10.
disadvantage.
10.
At disadvantage, but I only had an 11 otherwise.
Okay.
I'd be a fool if I hadn't asked about the swords.
I have plus 11 to Arcana.
No, it's important to know that the swords were not. The swords don't know much about the fate of kind of what's
Yep.
going on. Vaymont, you also give me a roll, please.
Which
Wait, what
means
kind of roll am I giving you?
none of us rolled high
Arcana.
enough, so you take a try.
You take that.
Ben, while he's rolling, my thought about the swords is not that they would know the specific details, but more that they
Dice
could
do not
verify
work tonight.
powers of powerful entities like demons and such. Like they may have dealt with them. So if things they hear track, or they have any insight as to how I could deal with a situation, not necessarily the history that we're talking about. That's kind of what I was looking for.
Wouldn't they have been with the swords have been with Azarian when he came out with?
No, they were
the
not
Dark
with
Sun?
him.
Oh, they had
Wasn't
the-
Vermont in the
that's
middle
right.
of a roll?
He was.
It definitely wasn't a
That's why I
20.
laughed,
Based on that laugh.
Okay, let's see here. Zindred,
Sir.
reroll. I'm gonna go history. No, give me religion, and you're gonna be no disadvantage, straight up.
Much better at religion. 24.
Awesome. Okay. From what he's kind of describing, the events that transpired, what's kind of going on, you have heard ritual gates before. That's not kind of uncommon. And you kind of understand the old gods of what you know, Zeus, Apollo, Ares, Hades, Poseidon, all them. they're kind of inattentive, but when they feel like it, they fancy themselves to these Odyssey quest type of things kind of going on. This is not uncommon. Your people, the Dark Elves, don't really deal with that type of matter. You've had to kind of deal with the Absolute in the Spider Queen, but this change that you know your mother's talked about. You now remember your grandmother speaking of a great, why this was very important and why she tutored you and made you understand the Raven Queen. You started to understand that there are some dimensional changes and rifts that basically kind of happening. The interesting thing that you're kind of figuring out part of is you think those that have taken those stones are kind of like they have deity power in them, residing in them. So it's not Hades has full control as likely on this whole group. And you feel, I mean, you might not have taken a stone, but because you are absolutely the Raven Queen's champion, you feel pretty much on the same, like, at a very similar level. So you don't feel like everything that maybe Simon was kind of hinting at was fully possible, but you do feel that Hades did put you on something very similar to this quest-like thing. So you've tied in some variation. And it might very well you have to figure the journey out to get to the point. But your peril cannot be as absolute. Like, he doesn't have that leeway without bringing ire amongst his other gods. Thus, when they all get around, they smack him around a bit and tell him that he's fucked up, and they can just, Zeus restores you back up, kind of go, if it gets to that type of extreme. He can put you on a journey quest to test you, just to prove your capacity as a hero of legend amongst the gods to be seated in the great realm down the road. So he can do that. So you don't feel like this is anything way different in a lot of aspects. This is definitely one of his more obstructions he's made, because they took advantage of the situation, and you journeyed on this vessel that seems to be enchanted enough to kind of go in and out. But in the same essence, he might have left you a tool as well, because it is exactly that. It's a tool. He doesn't have all that power. It's mostly the veil of the realm of Hades that he can kind of keep you in and out with certain gateways in and out. That is the one thing about the realm of the dead, so that people, the way the undead, just can't go out and be out on their own. But you know that must have changed, because when the Seven of Silk were released, there's been another connection. Something is kind of going on with that. So that's probably where he was able to shimmy this vessel in that leeway. So there's probably more to discover from what you might have, if that makes any sense.
Okay, let me try to recap then. So I feel like Hades put us on a vision quest of some form in a strange pocket dimension with 11 islands, and we have to figure out how to beat it to escape.
He picked you up. You're in his realm. You don't necessarily know if there's 11 islands. That happened to be the journey of the predecessor. It could be a single island. It could be something else. You just know it's a test that he's put you on by his choice, but you can, in essence, overcome it if you are the true champions that you are. Because
so we have to figure it out.
He can't smite the other gods, yeah.
We have to figure out what our quest is. It's
Correct.
not the same as the other people. We have to figure out what it is we have to do to be able to get out.
But the boat's not taking us to hell.
No, it doesn't seem like that.
It's supposedly taking us to whatever the first part of our journey is.
Right.
He's kind of tied your souls to this boat, and that's where the real thing what was mentioned by Simon is. He's tied your souls to the heart of the mermaid. So it's kind of like that is your living, moving prison of dead. So you are in the realm of the dead. You're tied to this being of a vessel, and that's how you're being moved along. So that is your journey of what you're going through. But he's not bringing you to him for judgment, because he didn't kill you. You didn't die.
So explaining all of this out to everyone, that Zendrid has realized, and that since we are not dead, he doesn't have that much power over us, and that we may be able to escape. We've got to face our challenges. That doesn't mean Alesky's spell idea wouldn't get us out, but this boat itself isn't evil, and it's not Hades' boat. He just happened to get it to do his bidding in this instance. If we follow the chain of the quests, or of whatever he has laid out for us, we may be able to win free with the boat. Maybe.
I think that's the point. We have to win free with the boat. We have to go and do wherever it takes us. We have to meet whatever is at that destination, and then it'll take us to the next spot, and then it'll take us out.
I mean, if we face our challenges,
That's an
and
assumption,
succeed,
is it not?
perhaps we will have, I don't know if bonded is the right word, but come to understand the boat well enough to truly make it our own and sail it to the Drake.
Alesky, give me a religion check as well, please. Straight up.
Well, with disadvantage because I'm.
Nope, not disadvantage. Straight up. I'm exhausted, but this is straight up knowledge for you.
So basically, he gave you advantage on it, like he gave me, and it cancels it out.
Yep.
Well, that makes it a 23.
From what you remember from your teachings, from your lineage, from where I might have told you, your aunts, your mother, and all that stuff like that, this makes a lot of sense in some aspects too, because oddly enough, gods kind of set their own doom. Like, they kind of hate or want to do things to you, but they don't necessarily just do overwhelming force. It is these quest things that are very winnable to their own frustration. Maybe it's a god trait, a flaw in their makeup, but it is something that would seem very likely in every story that you've known from many of the great heroes that you recall, like Hercules and all that. And they all were put into situations that could very well be overcome. So Hades, even though he is your enemy, very well could have given you an obstacle, but with a tool, because that's just common in the stories that you know.
It's true that in the lore and history of the gods, they set themselves up for failure in hoping to defeat us by placing insurmountable obstacles in front of us. And when we win through those obstacles, we thwart their plans. That's Hades. That's his reason for being. Zeus created him and placed him in the power he is to bring man together. So by Hades attempting to overthrow the order, man steps forward, joins together, and through their unity defeats him. As I've been saying this whole time, because of the fact we've joined together, he's already lost. We just have to complete the journey that we're on. This may be his attempt at stopping us by placing obstacles in our path. But I also feel maybe from the information Firebrand has given and Zindred has given that should we win through, we may also carry something out for Hades as a concern. But we haven't made a deal with Hades like the man in the journal has.
Correct. And even should we lay claim to this boat is not Hades. If we accept that we're on it and this is our journey, I don't think that that's a deal with Hades either. I think that is simply a deal with this vessel.
I don't think deals should be struck at all here.
Unless you can swim through a starless sea to find your way free.
Desire goes, we all make deals. It's one pact or another.
Right, Daddy?
Who said that?
Desire.
And it seems like, does it seem like the ship has been moving this whole time? Like it's going somewhere?
You think it is, but it doesn't look like it. But then you think about it, and it does feel like you think you moved. It's very strange.
Yeah, We're on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Until
HK
we
will say
decide what we're going to do.
Have we not decided to try to have Cascade will it to where we want it to go?
And that is the rub. It was asked that no one take action until we had all decided and agreed.
HK will just say this. If what you're saying is correct, and there's a quest before us, then we are on an odyssey. Whether it is 1 stop, 2 stops, or 20 stops. If we take care of these things, that is our best chance to leave this place and continue with the mission that we were originally set on.
All together and in the same place and working together, yes.
In the stories of old, a great king, leaving a war, journeyed for 20 years, stopping along the way to mend and deal with the errands and traps and tricks of the gods. He bested those odds and returned to his home and reclaimed his throne. We are here to claim the prize of the great Drake. So if that's the course that's before us, then that's the course we should set ourselves to.
I agree.
By your leave.
That we have Cascade take the wheel of this vessel, claim it as her own if she is willing, or claim it for us if she is willing, and will it to take us to our first task. Slowly enough that we can get some rest first.
You have to say, I am the captain now.
You have to say that.
You. I'm the captain now.
And perhaps by the end of this odyssey, you will be the captain of an enchanted ship that you can sail where you will.
Or you'll be the captain of the boat that sails the river Styx. Sounds unlucky to me.
Sounds like either way, you're a captain.
What will it be, Cascade?
Vaymont, you're always so full of hope and sunshine.
What is sunshine?
Silver lining.
I'm merely a realist. And I know that this place is not the place for bargains to be struck.
What say you, Mr. Lexi?
I'm torn.
For the glory of the Raven Queen, we must.
Yeah, let's do the damn thing.
The Drake awaits. What it lies before us is merely an obstacle. Set ourselves to the task, and we shall see it done.
What about our journey so far has been anything but an odyssey?
Cass will go to the wheel of the ship, and she'll put her hands up, and so she says, Poseidon, help me. And she takes the wheel, but goes, where the heck? Oh, and take me to the Drake. I am the captain.
Now.
You feel energy pour into you. You feel the essence of the heart of the mermaid.
Do the sails puff up?
A little,
Full of air.
not much. It still has a strange movement upon this ocean, but you do now know you're in a very vast ocean, and you will know that although Captain Hector may have perished to a blue dragon, Captain Electo did find happiness and is still quite alive.
Do I see stars?
You do not see the stars, but you seem to know that the vessel needs to go in the direction it's going. It is responding.
Ben?
Yep.
As she has taken the wheel and taken command, I would like to use Bringer of Law and the ceremony spell, my last slot for the day, and I would like a ceremony binding us all to the task at hand, which is to deal with the challenge before us, so that we can move forward onto our end goal, which is defeating the Drake, and basically have us all focused on that. by Tyr's glance and by his grace.
I do not need Tyr's grace.
You're getting
So
it.
you've bound us all even further to the boat.
Yeah. Okay. I need everyone to give
I
me.
refuse.
Everyone need to give me a religion roll. I'm gonna go right down the list. Give me a moment so I can chart this down.
Is
So
this disadvantage for exhaustion people or no?
I'm gonna say no. I want everyone to do it straight up because this is kind of like this is different. This is a religion. This is kind of like this ceremony.
Oh, nat 20, babe.
Woo woo.
Be plus 11, 31.
I got a nat 22.
Okay, hold on.
I'm so,
So
I'm so
Vaymont,
not religious. I'm
You
super
said nat
religious.
20.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
Cascade.
Hold on. Oh.
Cass got 19.
19. Eleski.
All their nat 20s knocked my 20 off of, and it landed on a 2, so I got an 8 total.
8. Okay. Jew.
Checks out.
I can't hear
You
you.
muted you.
6.
You're muted, bub.
I said same excuse as Lexi. I got a 6.
6. Not a natural 1. No one rolled a 1, did they? You don't have that high. Firebrand.
31 total with a nat 20.
Nat 20. Zindred.
I rolled a 2, but I have a 13.
Wow. So 15. And
No,
HK?
no, I have a 13
Oh,
total.
yeah. Oh, cool.
13.
HK.
Oh, hang on. Religion, you said?
Yes.
You had to jinx me. I have a total of a 6.
6.
Is that with
Got a nat
a
one.
However, that was a natural 1.
nat 1?
Nat
Buried
one.
the lead.
All right. So
Real mixed bag here.
you make the ceremony. The vessel feels a shimmer, Cascade. You feel energy to it, and it's going as it's moving along. All right. Everyone can knock a long rest off as the vessel is now moving, and you get to chill.
And search the vessel also.
Okay. Roll me an investigation, please, Indrid. And you can do it after the rest, so you don't have to disadvantage.
Fantastic.
I too will aid in searching the vessel because I want to know what the hell they got me into.
Cool. Roll.
Yeah, she's going to suggest everybody help search the vessel.
I'm
other
specifically looking
clues
for. Sorry, Glenn. Carry
That
on.
was it,
24,
just for any of the
'cause I'm
clues or whatever
rogue,
else
so-
we can find.
24.
Okay. Sindred?
I w-
What are we
21.
rolling?
All right.
Investigation.
Investigate. I want to help.
Roll. Damn.
Nat 20 for 26.
19.
God damn you guys. All right.
I have a plus 11 to investigate. That's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah, you're supposed to be, I don't know, a Fey Knight.
I got a plus 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, I'm
Because
gonna
Indrid's a
be
delegator,
looking
she would have
for-
said we should search the ship, so, you know.
Yeah. Everyone's
Yeah.
tearing the ship apart.
And I specifically wanted to be looking for weapons and gear, specifically ranged weapons, if there are any, so I can arm our 6 compatriots that are with us. I want to keep them out of any melee combat, but make sure they're defensible. If they don't have things like leather armor, I will look for leather armor. I will look for anything that we can use to protect them, bucklers if need be. Just basically, I wanted to get them as shored up as possible.
And they're going to stay on the ship.
More or less, you don't find any weapons or armor. You will find 30 gold coins of the Hawkins Dynasty print on them. But, Zindrid, you will find, more or less, a lot of fixtures that seem to deal with a lot of wizardry type of experimentation and testing. There are some jotted notes down.
Let me at him.
I'll point Firebrand in that direction, yeah.
And, okay, and you can start checking that out. There's another thing that is in the log that, as Firebrand was kind of like going through, it didn't seem much because it was a lot of stuff. There was one time that apparently the heart of the Mermaid didn't run into an island; it ran into another vessel. and it ran into the vessel and apparently defeated it, and they retrieved a young princess. Now, the interesting thing of this journal story that you read is, when they saved her, she was a princess that was killed in a pirate attack that caused her dynasty to attack the other one, the Hawkins dynasty. And as the journey went, they actually, apparently the crew, the heroes, put a soul stone in her, and she escaped the realm. So someone who had died many, many years ago made her way out of this realm.
At some point, but we don't know when or where they landed in time.
No. Right.
There's no correlation to connect.
But what's interesting is the fact that you're now realizing people who have been dead for a long time ago that have found their way to Hades' realm could actually be found and pulled. You're not sure, again, what the soul
and
thing
pulled?
is. Well, again, she was dead for 20 years, but she escaped with these other heroes. It's in the log. Alecto has written that down. So you get that. Some were left behind, as you're getting that this was a finite amount of people or whatever. The group chose to put her amongst the survivors of that situation. So you'll get that.
Okay.
Firebrand. You're basically starting to see what looks to be notes that are also interesting, where this apparently Maximor found his mother. They actually encountered her, but she chose not to remain, but she was corrupted by devilish forces. So apparently Hades had tapped into the 9 hells and did more corruption and used her against these young princes and princesses that he basically had. And you're starting to see a lot of his evilness start to show, apparently, in some writings, some notes that he has, somewhere his experiment kind of going. Vaymont, you pretty much will discover that there pretty much seem to be, indeed, weapons and stuff on board. But they have been, like, very well packaged and packaged up and moved off the ship. With pretty much nothing else there. Like, you pretty much figured out where an armory would have been. It was all removed. All taken out. Nothing else remains.
I'll pass that information on to HK since he was looking
But
for weapons and armor.
And in the Spero chat, I am going to write. So I check Lee's question here. Go ahead and
I didn't write the question. I wanted to ask that
okay.
live.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ask it live then.
HK, when I died fighting the Drow Untold years ago and have no memory of what took place and just eventually like woke up one day, have I been here before? Have I touched the waters of the River Styx? Is that why I have no memory of what took place with me?
Could be.
Is
one of the tales that you know of religion, that is the power of the River Styx. It's for you to forget and to be resurrected or reincarnated again at another time.
so I may very well have been here before and never known it.
And been in the river, but touched by the River Styx, and have no recollection of this place at all.
Okay.
Lady Zindred,
Sir.
just a thought. If we are where those, where those of the undead souls can potentially be found, do you think we may find your compatriot that was slain?
I both hope so and hope not, depending on whether or not Hades is using him against us. If we could find his soul free of Hades' influence, that would be joyous, but from that perspective, though, how many other people that we've lost could come to haunt us while we're here?
How many people have you lost, Ladies Injured? I have only seen you lose one.
I've only
Too
lost one
many.
on this quest, but we are drow. Is there anyone that
Not
you
to mention all
fear
the
running into
people
in the
we've killed
mists
that
of
could be
Amon?
here. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
You send
I
a
did
lot
not.
of people here.
I did not know the names of the demon captors I had as a child, so I'm not really sure if I could say somebody or something I would fear running into, but I'm sure I would know it if I saw it again.
Well, despite the fact that we often seem to be chasing our own tails, somehow we always make headway, and this group has proven stalwart, and though we're a mixed bag at best, I think we'll see this through.
Well, some of us at least.
There's always the chance of losing more along the way. Even myself. If I have to lay down my life in service of the Raven Queen, that will just be the ultimate glory. Oath of Glory Paladin, by the way.
Yes, I suppose, Ladies Injured, that would be quite the honorable sacrifice for the Raven Queen.
Should it happen, I charge you or Shadow Smite to return the Raven's Queen's sword, if possible, to our order.
Without question.
Hey, Lusky. They said that they had some sort of dealings with the nine hells in their last one. Could you ask Desire if she knows any stories or anything about that? I don't know what kind of rumor she hears in the nine hells.
Before Zinder, because of your investigation, I will not, because your questioning part. Let me get to that point. I want to be very thorough, because it was very important at the time. All right. So the Hawkins family that you know of comes out of Kylos. And I'm going to type the next name. Okay. So Ismini, who was found, was not under the influence of Hades. She just kind of knew this had happened. Like, she was kind of in a trauma situation, kind of like a time frame of a redo is what Alecto writes from there. And that's how they, so she wasn't against her or anything, against the crew or anything. It seemed like that was straight up someone they found and brought back, and this kind of went how it was going. And give me a history check.
History. $18.
Okay.
And real quickly, Ben.
Yep.
When you're done with that. So I'm gonna take one of my tokens of the departed,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to shatter it in order to ask a question to the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
When the spirit appears, I want to ask it, "Are you here?"
As you do that, it zips off the bow of the ship and is gone.
Fantastic. I was curious what would happen.
Zindrid, you know Killian Hawkins and Ismene are married. So they are indeed survivors, and they are the current rulers of Kylos. So this journey has had success.
Right. So they did make it out.
They did make it out, and
Nice.
those were two. So, but Ismene not being a part of the story would seem like was not possessed by Hades, had no control. She was just in the situation, apparently one of the test trials, and she was used because of the strife between the two dynasties as part of their war, and that was one of the ordeals that they had to deal with. Another person that is coming out for you all hearing, especially you, Aleski, is Vale. She's apparently some priestess of Hades that was on the boat at some time, who seemed to have a lot of the answers and pushing the crew towards their destination, but she was very vague and cryptic with most of her answers, and then at some point she just disappears quarter into the journey. Like she had done her service to Hades and was probably left the group.
Once Zendrid recalls the names and makes the connection for the current rulers of the Hawkings that are alive, she's going to specifically go around and tell everyone trying to bolster spirits, and tell the tale from the perspective of, hey, I just remembered, and there is hope. This really can be done. I found stuff about it. But specifically, I want to make sure that I make the rounds through the 6 normal Joe Schmo sailor guys that had nothing to do with this, letting them know that we can get out of this kind of thing.
All right, they're feeling okay. They've trusted you. You've gotten out of worse mess, especially after that ghost attack.
Letting them know that they may survive.
Pretty much, yeah. Reflexes are sharper when you have hope.
Ben, I don't know how much time we'll have totally, but I guess I'm just gonna spend a lot of time with them, like downtime with them, and just talk about like when they're not, basically to kind of boost their spirits. I'm going to be in kind of talking up what we're going to be able to do, how much we trust them, how much they've been a help to us so far, and also seating in talks and discussions about survival, what to do for survival situations, being able to just anything to kind of, because I'm very good at that skill and I'm trained in that skill. So basically I figured that's probably the one thing that will help boost their spirits. I'm kind of like teaching them and trying to do that. I don't know if they'll actually, we're probably not going to have enough downtime for them to get the skill, but I'm using that as a vehicle to boost their spirits so that they're in a better situation. And perhaps they can call on that for some kind of advantage in a dire moment.
Okay.
They can probably keep themselves busy with the boat too, but I doubt it needs it.
Yeah, but it's old habits. Give me a persuasion check, HK.
Sure.
While we're here on the boat, I'm actually going to release all of my tokens to the departed.
Okay. I'm going to give you inspiration for that. If you don't already have it.
Sweet.
That's a 24.
All right.
Very nice, Jeremy.
You are moving them along. Cascade,
something really important.
Wisdom.
Sorry, go ahead.
Wisdom at advantage. Saving throw, please. Yes, go ahead, Zendra.
I was just going to say something really important that Zendra needs to straighten out. How many private cabins are on this vessel?
2.
Zendra takes the first mate's cabin.
Okay.
She doesn't say anything to Cascade about it, but she takes the first mate's cabin and leaves the captain's cabin open.
Strange thing while you're on this boat, though, you don't ever feel tired or hungry.
She still would like somewhere to go and be by herself and whatnot.
Just want to note that.
As long as we have food or rations, and actually, even though HK doesn't eat, he actually carries rations. He will insist that everybody eats who needs to eat, whether they want to or not.
They don't.
At
No one
least
wants to,
once a day.
but
At least once a day, I insist that everybody eats.
Okay.
Nobody misses at least that much.
All right.
I'm gonna go up to the crow's nest and kind of just chill out there and see what I can see.
Okay.
Hang out with the cat.
Hang out with the. I don't think there's a cat here.
I will.
have no
I will-
idea
You-
what
hold
did
on.
happen to the cat.
Cascade, you are
Cat's
blitzed
around.
with a flash as you're holding the wheel. And then as you look about, each of your friends seem to be an individual that you do... You recognize... Well, actually, do you? No, not on you. You do recognize the wizard, the woman that you fought in the town. Was that you there? No, you weren't. You weren't there either. Any of these, were you? Your friends have taken on different personas, and the only thing you will notice, you look at yourself, you're floating, but somehow have the wheel. That great beast that gave you the stone. You feel that this vessel was definitely indeed a transportation to this. You are definitely confirming that the Seven rode this very vessel. You also notice another thing about this vessel. As you're embracing it and taking it in, being one of these champions, it has given you a lead to where the Dark Sun's actual home is. Like it knows the route north to get there.
Is there a cat up here?
Now the cat's on the cat is enjoying the table.
Wait, so the cat crossed over from the real world?
The cat
So
is
this
Alesky's
world
familiar and
with-
has been the whole time.
Yeah.
It's another vile deceiver.
Damn vile deceivers.
Cats.
That
man.
You
Zindra's
thought-
not
you thought you
vile
found a cat
deceiver
friend
to
too,
you.
didn't you?
Zindra's not going to trust cats after this.
I'm not gonna trust cats either. I've had a bad experience with Lady
Well,
Zindred,
you guys
and now
are,
I've got another
you
bad
guys
experience.
do follow a raven. I mean, come on.
I'm never gonna trust another cat. So Vaymont has never seen a feline until being deceived by every single one he's encountered.
Mm-hmm. Cool, isn't it?
I can't trust any of them. They're all vile deceivers.
It hasn't changed anything else, as far as you see.
So you said each of my friends appear to have taken on a different persona.
Except Zindred and Vaymont. And Desire and Laura are as they are. But everybody else looks like somebody else. For that moment that you meditate. But the ship responds to you even stronger. And is now giving you a destination to another location in Spero.
Okay. Of the remaining, who do they look like?
Okay, I have to go back to my other notes.
I mean, I won't necessarily, from what you said, I won't necessarily know who they look like, but I mean...
Yeah. So Firebrand looks like a woman wizard with red hair. Alesky looks like a very pretty armored human woman with dark hair. Jew looks like a dark elf war master. And HK looks like a very big gothic human looking knight with long black hair. Still is buff from and you look like a floating ball of ice.
And I would recognize who that was.
You did remember that encounter, yes. That was the only one you were at.
Okay.
Okay. The boat is sailing. You have discovered a lot of things on the ship as things are moving forward. It seems like it's going. Everyone seems to be fine. You're forcing eating as they happen. And things seem calm. When the ship is all of a sudden rocked. Something tentacles lash on the side of the vessel, shaking it. There's a great beast.
I was right earlier.
You were right earlier. And you are quickly brought to your attention and ready to repel this monstrosity of the great kraken of long old history has come to the side of the ship.
Release the Kraken.
That escalated.
And that's where we end. We will be in a very heavy battle the next time we get together.
One thing I did want to mention, and I would have told all of the main party, not the juniors that are with us, is that I am worried that the need not to eat for those of you who don't eat is false. So if they don't eat, they could actually die here.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
That's why they need to eat, no matter what. And if you catch anybody
that's
skipping
exactly
a
what
meal,
you were doing.
we force them to do so.
Okay. All right, group. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to set a date for the 11th. Everything else is kind of like bottled up between one other game and an employee thing I have to deal with. Unless, well, actually take that back. Unless we decide also, we could decide the 4th. It has to be either the 4th or the 11th. So we can do one a little earlier or that middle one late.
And
Well,
I can't do the 4th.
Okay. So let's definitely go for the 11th. And as Lee has asked, we'll definitely continue to aim at 7 o'clock. Sound good?
On the 11th,
Yeah, I can make
eh?
that work.
Yep, I'm bringing up the calendar now. Bear with me a moment. I don't think we have anything set for that, do we?
Oh, no.
I will probably.
Not for 7. So
Everybody else, as we
Yep.
set that situated, thank you for joining us and join us for next time when we find out if we end the Kraken or people are stuck in Hades' realm of the dead forever.
oh, we getting out.
I'll see you then.
Night all.
All right, we are
a great one.
disconnecting live, so we are good.